Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I have this article that is going to maybe, I hope, infuriate my German friends and everybody else, because it's about governments spending money that they don't have. And you can guess why they start spending money now and why don't you have it. All right, let's go and see what's going on here with Business Insider. From October 10th, 2022, Germany is pushing a $93 billion spending plan to ease consumer gas prices as Europe heads towards winter, with no end to energy crunch in sight. All right, so when you hear about the spending plan, this is what it means. That means your governments will go and beg some bankers, international bankers, poor bankers, for money with interest. The bankers will gladly give the governments the money plus interest. The governments get the money, and because they fucked up the economy and you in the same time, right? They will say, we're going to subsidize a little bit the consumer gas prices. That means they will pay from the money they borrowed in your name, they will pay that little difference for a little while. Guess who's going to be paying that? Not the weasel politician who went to the banker. You and I. In this case, the Germans. Now, $93 billion is a lot. I bet you can figure it out easily, right? Now, you might think, why is this the case? And they will tell you, it's because Putin and Russia and Ukraine war. And you will say, shut up. That's what you should say, because you know that's not it. And if it is, it's because the same guys here who implemented some bad policy imposed some sanctions on those guys, and those sanctions came back to you. And then the same guys who created the problem, well, the same guys are a little bit over the ocean in Zimbabwe, remember? Those guys will come and they will save the day. They will get you in debt. So how does this work? Think like this in a very simplistic way. You can say, I mean, you're going to miss a lot of details. Well, I'm not about details in this. It's very simple. A country is like a family. Okay? It produces and it consumes. So your family, it's you and your wife. All right? And you have children, and maybe you have, I don't know, adult children, you have children, minor children, whatever you have. And you go and work. Those are the services and the manufacture and whatever you produce. And you buy stuff, you produce stuff, and you consume, but you consume as much as you make. Unless you go to the bank and get some more money, right? And then you come back and say, honey, we're going to buy a new car. Well, good. You got a raise? Where did you get that money? Well, the bankers give it to me. Are you crazy? They charge you interest. So that's the way it goes. And you have to pay the interest. But if you don't make the money to buy the car, you will try to ask a weasel banker to do that for you. And you get in debt, and debt, and debt. Why don't you buy with your own money? The same here. They need to borrow in order to supply their bad economic policies. Why do you think you're in this situation? Bad policies. Why do you think Biden has now to be upset with Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia? That the guys over there, the OPEC, decided to cut 2 million barrels a day? Because it's bad policy. Biden and his weasels thought that if they just start punching left and right, that works. Well, it didn't. It didn't. You have to negotiate. You have to use diplomacy. But who? Blinken? He doesn't even fucking know what it is. And the guys around are the same. Kirkby and Kamala. And Biden is 90% dead. During the day, what do you want? They just revive him every 15 minutes a day, and then they put him back in the crypt. Lay down for later. Anyway, let's go and see what these wizards are saying. Comes from Business Insider. Germany announced, and it's not 93. You're gonna hear more. It's not 90. It's 200. $200 billion. You. And the bankers are, should we lend the money or we shouldn't lend the money to Deutschland? Yes, yeah, they're gonna dance over there. You'll see. So Germany announced plans Monday to spend to spend money that they don't have, $93 billion to ease surging gas prices. Officials are worried winter months will be tight even as energy reserves are filling up. My bad, sorry. The plan would be paid for by a larger 200 billion euro spending package that was announced last month. Hey, you got money? You gotta pay it back with interest. Jesus Christ. Germany announced Monday plans to spend upwards of 96 billion euros, $93 billion, to aid consumers struggling with the surging energy cost that you created. And you're now the saviors. The spending is part of a larger 200 billion euro package put forth by Chancellor Olaf Scholz in September. He considers that a success, if you can believe that, and would provide consumers with one-time payment equivalent to 1 month of gas bill payments for small and medium-sized households, according to a report from Reuters. One-time payment. And then who's going to pay for that? You with interest. While benchmark European natural gas prices have come down sharply from the record high of 349 euros per megawatt hour, they remain about 4 times the year ago level at about 150 per megawatt hour. 4 times, buddy. Imagine that your income, your salary would increase 4 times. Ever? All right. Germany remains on the edge ahead of an energy crunch this winter despite storage facilities being well stocked. Of course, but someone has to make money, right? Germany's proposal to shield consumers. They shield consumers. They shield you. They're all for you. Germany's proposal to shield consumers from skyrocketing energy prices comes as Europe tries to make do without Russian gas in response to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine and the resulting sanctions. That's the one. Russia was responsible for as much as 40% of the European Union gas flows before the war started. Well, meanwhile, Germany's overall 200 billion euro spending package has been controversial among other European Union member states. It's okay. The bankers got your back. They were just, how much money you want? Oh, 200 billion? 200 billion euros or dollars, to see what kind of sign. Oh, euros. Okay, here you got it. And they send you the number. And that's the money. This is so obvious. You can say, well, what do you want? It's a good relief, better than nothing. Well, it's not really like that. Because if you think like that, it's like having sex with someone who has AIDS. Or has herpes, or has, STD, some sexually transmitted, diseases. Oh, are you going to have fun? You're going to feel very nice for about, it depends how much you can go. And then what? You're going to see the doctor many times, and pain and this and that. So that's you and I, okay? So that's what it is, catching STD. That's what it is with this having sex and then paying back the whole thing. Not in one day, a long day, and then anyway. So this is it. Go and have sex. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Don't catch STD though.